The first time Elena Vasquez stepped into the Blackwood Manor, she knew two things. One, she was not just a maid, she was a ghost. And two, she would burn this mansion to the ground before she let them take what was hers. The rain hammered against the towering iron gates of Blackwood Manor, as if the heavens themselves were warning Elena to turn back. But she had nowhere else to go. At 24, with calloused hands and a spine of steel, she had spent the last 6 years scrubbing floors for the rich, smiling when they called her dear, and biting her tongue when they accidentally dropped $100 bills just to watch her scramble. But this was different. Blackwood Manor wasn't just a house, it was a fortress of secrets, a labyrinth of marble and lies, where the air itself smelled of old money and older sins. And its master, Damien Blackwood, was the most dangerous of them all. Tall, cold, with eyes like frozen steel, Damien was the kind of man who could silence a room with a single glance. He was the CEO of Blackwood Industries, a man who had built an empire on ruthless ambition and the blood of those who stood in his way. Elena had heard the whispers. He's a monster, a heartless bastard, a man who would sell his own soul for power. But what no one knew, what she had spent years burying, was that she was the rightful heir to this mansion, and Damien Blackwood had stolen it from her. Elena's hands trembled as she signed the employment contract. Maid, live-in, $50,000 a year. A fortune for someone like her, a joke for someone like him. Problem, Miss Vasquez? Damien's voice was smooth, dangerous. She lifted her chin. No, sir. His lips curled, just slightly. Good, because in this house, obedience is the only currency that matters. She wanted to scream. She wanted to claw his eyes out, but she forced herself to nod, because she had a plan. Weeks passed. Elena moved through the mansion like a shadow, cleaning his study, dusting his trophies, watching, learning. Damien was a creature of habit. He worked late, drank whiskey neat, and never let anyone into his private wing. But one night, as she polished the grand staircase, she heard it, the faint sound of a woman's voice coming from his study. "You can't keep doing this, Damien. People are talking." Elena froze. The door was slightly ajar. She crept closer, her heart pounding. Inside, a woman in a sleek black dress stood with her back to the door. "Your father's will was clear. The manor belongs to her." Damien's voice was ice. "My father was a fool, and she's dead." Elena's breath caught. Her. They were talking about her. Before she could hear more, a hand clamped over her mouth. "What the hell are you doing?" A deep, furious whisper. She turned and found herself staring into Damien Blackwood's storm-gray eyes. Elena expected anger, punishment, maybe even termination, but Damien didn't fire her. Instead, he dragged her into his study, locked the door, and demanded, "Who sent you?" She laughed, bitter and hollow. "No one. I came here for the same reason you did, because this house is mine." Silence. Then, "Impossible." "Is it?" She reached into her apron pocket and pulled out a yellowed photograph. A little girl, no older than 5, standing in front of Blackwood Manor, her tiny hand clutching a man's. Damien's father. "That's me, Elena Blackwood, your sister." Damien's face went pale, because he knew. His father had told him the truth before he died. He had a daughter he had disowned, a daughter who had disappeared the night the will was read. And now, she was back. What followed was a battle of wills. Damien refused to believe her. Prove it. Elena had the proof, DNA tests, old letters, a birth certificate with her mother's name, but Damien was a master of manipulation. He twisted the truth, planted doubts, even hired a private investigator to dig into her past. And then he made his move. One night as she slept, he slipped into her room and placed a check on her pillow. $5 million. Take it, leave, and never come back. She stared at the check, her hands shaking, and she tore it in half. "This isn't about money," she whispered. "It's about justice." Damien's eyes darkened. "Then you'll get a war." Elena thought she was prepared, but she wasn't ready for Lydia. Lydia Carter, Damien's personal assistant, his confidant, the woman who had been by his side for years, the woman who hated Elena with every fiber of her being. "You think you can just waltz in here and take what's his," Lydia sneered one evening, cornering Elena in the kitchen. "You're nothing but a gold-digging whore." Elena didn't flinch. "And you're nothing but a puppet." Lydia's slap echoed through the room. But Elena didn't cry. She smiled, because she had already won. The truth came out at the Blackwood Charity Gala. Hundreds of New York's elite gathered in the grand ballroom, sipping champagne, laughing, unaware of the storm brewing. Elena stood in the shadows, watching Damien work the room, charming, powerful, untouchable. Then she stepped forward. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, her voice ringing clear, "I have an announcement to make." The room fell silent. Damien's face went white. "This man," Elena continued, "has been lying to you all. Blackwood Manor doesn't belong to him. It belongs to me." Gasps, whispers. Damien's voice was a snarl. "You're lying." But Elena had the final proof, a hidden clause in his father's will, discovered in the family vault, a clause that stated if Elena Blackwood ever returned, the manor and 51% of Blackwood Industries would be hers. The room erupted. Damien's empire was crumbling. And then Lydia stepped forward. "She's lying," Lydia said, her voice shaking. I forged the documents. Damien had nothing to do with it." Elena's blood ran cold, because she knew Lydia was protecting him, and Damien was smiling. The police arrived. Lydia was arrested. The will was authenticated. And Damien? He stood before Elena, his face unreadable. "You won," he said quietly. "What now?" Elena looked around the mansion, the marble floors, the priceless art, the legacy of the Blackwood name. She could take it all, or she could walk away. "I don't want your money," she said. "I want answers." Damien's eyes flickered. "What do you mean?" "Why did you do it?" she asked. "Why did you steal my inheritance? Why did you let me believe I was nothing?" For the first time, Damien looked broken. "Because I was afraid," he admitted. "Afraid that if you came back, you'd take everything. And I didn't want to lose it." Elena's heart ached, because she understood. Fear made monsters of men. In the end, Elena didn't burn the mansion down. Instead, she rebuilt it. She turned Blackwood Manor into a shelter for women escaping abuse, a place where the broken could heal. And Damien? He stepped down as CEO, sold his shares, and disappeared. Some say he went to Europe. Others claim he's living off-grid, far from the world that once worshipped him. But Elena knows the truth. He's still out there, and one day he'll come back, because some bonds, even the most toxic ones, are impossible to break. Did you love this story? Then you'll adore the next one. Subscribe to Passion Haven for more heart-wrenching love stories, billionaire dramas, and secrets that will leave you breathless. Hit the like button, share with your friends, and comment below. Who do you think Damien really was? A villain? A victim? Or something in between? And don't forget, the next story drops soon. Turn on notifications so you don't miss it. Love, betrayal, and secrets await. See you in the next one.